Today I fucked up by mourning the death of my mom. Happened just over 12 hours ago. This one leans more to the sad side, so I apologize in advance. I work out of state and happen to be working nights right now, in Texas. My mother had multiple seizures yesterday morning and needed CPR, and they are in Washington. My brother lives with my parents, due to the fact that my father had developed dementia, and my mother needed help. Brother had to perform the CPR, while my father ran to the neighbor's house, she's a nurse, to get help. Mom was taken to the hospital and was examined. My brother and I spoke about it and he said he would keep me informed. Throughout yesterday, he told me she is fine, but seemed confused. All of my updates came through my brother. This is the important detail. The doctors determined she had a heart attack and were still trying to figure out why, but for the time being, she was stable. I went to bed in the morning and fell asleep. I woke up to my phone blowing up with calls and texts from family, friends, and others. I was still in a bit of a fog, trying to figure out what was going on. My cousin, who I am closest with, called and told me that my mother had passed away. If anyone called to tell me this news, she was the best person who wasn't my brother to inform me. I sat there, trying to process everything as she explained to me what happened. We spoke for about a half hour. I started going through all my texts, reading from people paying their respects. Over 20 people giving the obligatory sorry for your loss and let me know if you need anything. Yet, nothing from my brother. And he's the emergency contact. I figured he was in shock, as he doesn't do well in these situations. I was upset that he didn't call me, but given the situation and the fact that he is so close with my mom, I forgave him. Everyone grieves differently, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had just frozen and forgotten to make the call. I decided to wait a little bit. I know I'm direct family, but he had to be busy dealing with everything. I received a text from him while going for a walk to process everything. He said she is getting ready to go into surgery and he would keep me informed of anything new. I thought it was strange that he texted me nearly an hour after finding out, but I reasoned it with my being in a poor signal area. Text must have just come through now, and he had to have sent it earlier. My mom must have died during surgery. I called my brother, and asked how he's doing. He said he was fine, but seemed a little quizzical. I told him I just heard, and he asked about what. I got a call saying that mom had passed. What? No. Didn't you get my text about, wait, did you see this on Facebook? No, but Shannon told me she did. Dad posted something, and it clicked. For both of us. My brother explained that my father was confused in the morning because he couldn't find my mother. He had completely forgotten about her going to the hospital. Furthermore, my brother said that he was crying, hours later, about mom dying in the hospital. My brother had to remind him that she was stable and in the hospital, but they weren't allowed inside due to COVID. He said all of this went down right before noon, about 10 minutes before the first calls and texts came in. It turns out my father had announced her death over Facebook. Relieved and bewildered, I headed to Facebook to correct this information. It turns out I also exposed the family secret. Nobody was aware my father had dementia, even though I've known for over 2 years. My brother told me that mom would be upset that everyone knew. I told him she has a choice. They'll learn of his dementia now, or wonder why she's alive after he told the world she had passed on. So I guess today I fucked up in 2 ways. 1. I was led to believe my mom died by getting the information secondhand instead of calling my brother immediately. And 2, I exposed my dad's dementia to the world. Too long didn't read. Mom went into the hospital. Brother said he would tell me everything as he's right there. Dad announced her death to the world, and I had to expose his dementia to explain why she's still alive. What a day. The way you say that you're working nights right now in Texas sounds like you're in the oil field. That would be correct. I don't think you fucked up at all. I think you went through an extreme trauma yesterday if I'm being honest. Take some time today and take care of yourself. You didn't fuck up, emo. Your parents set up an impossible situation for you by hiding the dementia. Sounds like you and your brother were doing the right things. Good luck to you. Hiding his dementia while giving him complete access to social media. How wasn't that going to come out eventually? Damn, that was a roller coaster. Oh man, this was totally not your fault. And while it might feel uncomfortable for others to know about your father's illness, that's not his fault and shouldn't have any shame or stigma around it. I think people will be more understanding than you think, should your family choose to explain it to everyone. For the moment, just try to remember that all of that awkwardness pales in comparison with the fact that your mom is alive. And that is the best news you could have right now. Thank you. My parents are really old school. This isn't the best way to describe it. I'm still in a WTF happened today mentality, so bear with me, but when it comes to illness, they hide it from the world if they can. They are almost of the mindset of people back in the early century. I'm almost positive they would have hid him in the basement if anyone came over to the house, just to not show weakness of the family. My mother already stopped allowing visitors once he was diagnosed. My grown kids have been asking to come over and see their grandparents for years, and she's shut it down. Today I fucked up by forgetting it's not my girlfriend's birthday. So, to be clear, I logically know my girlfriend of nearly 2 years' birthday. But logic has no horse in this story's race. This fuck up starts with me receiving a notification on my phone from Siri to send my girlfriend a happy birthday message. Now once I saw this, all logical thinking went out the door. I should add that my girlfriend had pulled a late night last night and slept most of today, so we hadn't spoken much today. We are long distance at the moment. So, I started sending said girlfriend messages in panic saying happy birthday. And I'm really sorry I didn't pay attention to the date. And just overall begging forgiveness. Now, coincidentally her phone appeared to have had died at this time, so none of my messages were going through. I started looking at gifts and flowers to have sent in a panicked state. My world was crumbling down before my eyes. But about 15 minutes in, I get a reply. It's not my birthday. Reality came crashing down before me. I stared at the text for some time and finally came back to the reality that her birthday was 2 months ago, and I vividly remember celebrating it. I, by human error, had accidentally put her birthday 2 months ahead without having noticed. She's now been laughing at me for the last 30 minutes. Which I truly deserve. Too long didn't read, put the wrong birthday for my GF in my phone. It sent me into an illogical panic. Now I'm deservedly a laughing stock. Edit, some words. This is the most adorable thing I've read all month. My mother doesn't trust Google with her real birthday, in March, so she put it in May. Every May, 2 months after her actual birthday, she gets a panicked call from me because Google has informed me it's her birthday again and I can't tell the difference between 2 months that both start with Ma. Was expecting it to be the birthday of an ex that you hadn't deleted from your calendar. If it makes you feel better, my husband and I both forgot it was our wedding anniversary until 2 days later. That is so sweet and does not deserve to be under the today I fucked up category whatsoever. You just proved yourself to your girlfriend that you care a ton, and honestly it is pretty amusing. If you genuinely thought you messed up, don't worry about it, that's like the best oopsies you could have done. Smile. Today I fucked up by baby wearing for the first time and shit my pants. So today I got a fun baby accessory in the mail. It was basically a big winter coat you can wear with a baby carrier. My husband and I live walking distance to our town's main street. We wanted to get some liquor to go in eggnog. You can't get liquor delivered, so we figured why not support a local business and pick up liquor while also going on baby's first trip in the carrier. Hours before we left, I had some tummy troubles, but it passed, so I didn't think much of it. I strapped my adorable baby girl to me and put the jacket thing over her. Then I put on my own jacket. We stepped out into the cold and baby and I were both very cozy in this get-up. We headed out and halfway there she started to cry. But fear not, I had her patchy. Crisis averted. We were on our way. The visit to the liquor store went well. We bought a local whiskey from a local shop. My husband put it in a reusable bag. We were basically saving the world. And doing it all while baby wearing. Just two millennials living the dream. And then my stomach started to grumble. I felt the need to shit. My husband asked the shopkeeper for some cardboard to keep the bottles from clinking, taking our carbon footprint up a notch and losing a little bit of the respect we had certainly garnered from the small business owner. I cautioned my husband to hurry. I started to feel a painful cramping. I left the shop. I just had to get out. I was already walking home by the time my husband joined me. "I'm going to shit my pants," I said. "No, you're not," my husband reassured me. I started repeating "oh my god" over and over again under my breath as the pain in my stomach intensified. My insides rumbled violently and pain crept through my intestines. I clenched my sphincter, continuing my prayer, and my husband began a refrain of his own, telling me over and over that it was going to be okay. But it wasn't. The baby was putting a lot of pressure on my lower abdomen, and with her strapped to me, I couldn't run into the bushes like I needed to. I started to trot. Some lady passed us also wearing a baby. Fuck her. Fuck. I prayed no one else was around. I ran faster. The baby started crying against me. And then it happened. I couldn't hold it. Birth does a number on the pelvic floor, and this load would have been a challenge for anyone to hold in. I turned to my husband, telling him he had to take the baby now. We struggled to detach her from me. He carried her like a bundle and I ran into the woods. But the damage was done. I wrapped my jacket around my waist, took the liquor bag and followed my husband and baby back, luckily managing to avoid my neighbors. I'll spare you the details at this point. There was lots of cleaning. My baby had her own blowout and my husband made some comment about what a shit day it was. TLDR, it's hard to hold in explosive diarrhea while wearing a baby. Oh shit. I've had to run into the bushes once by a busy college. Feel you, girl. Also funny ass story. I thought this was gonna be a weird kink post about you're wearing a diaper and shit yourself by your weirdly worded subject header. Some lady passed us also wearing a baby. Fuck her. That's the spirit. You fucked up by rushing. The key is to sit or stand still and concentrate on your Kegel exercises until the rumblings pass. Then you move towards the nearest bathroom as fast as you can with your cheeks clenched. I had a tear during childbirth and have IBS, so I deal with this a lot. Haven't shit my pants yet, knock on wood.